Peace. All praise and glory to the mighty Most High. I apologize, first of all, for that last lesson. Somehow I hit the button and it shut down. I was going to show you something, and then voila, it went off. So anyways, blessings. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Let's jump right in here, man. I left off at hen of a wine last time in Leviticus. We're picking up at verse 14. You must not eat any bread or roasted or new grain until the very day you bring this offering to your God. This is to be a lasting ordinance for the generations to come, wherever you live. The festival of weeks. From the day after the Sabbath, the day you brought the sheaf of the wave offering, count off 7 full weeks. Count off 50 days up to the day after the 7th Sabbath, and then present an offering of new grain to the Lord. From wherever you live, bring 2 loaves made of 2/10 of an ephah of the finest flour, baked with yeast, as a wave offering of first fruits to the Lord. Present with his bread 7 male lambs, each a year old and without defect. Now the Spirit is saying he takes no defects. But I'd have to say that looks like a blemished sacrifice to me. They say that Jesus was perfect in all his ways. If Jesus was perfect in all his ways, then he wouldn't have been put on a tree. Keep that in mind as well, folks. Okay? That there is a blood sacrifice. Do you get that? Are you putting the pieces together? So present with the bread several male lambs, each 1 year old without defect, 1 young bull and 2 rams. They will be burnt offerings to the Lord, together with their grain offerings and drink offerings. Today I just don't want anything to do with any kind of burnt offering at all. You know, it's not my place to say whether it's accurate or true. It's only my place to share with you that there is one God, one supreme authority that moves all things in place, and that's the message I bring today. They will be burnt offerings to the Lord, together with their grain offerings and drink offerings, a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. Then sacrifice 1 male goat for a sin offering, and 2 lambs, each 1 year old, for a fellowship offering. The priest is to wave the 2 lambs before the Lord as a wave offering, together with the bread of the first fruits. They are a sacred offering to the Lord for the priests. On that same day, you are to proclaim a sacred assembly and do no regular work. This is to be a lasting ordinance for the generations to come, wherever you live. So, are Hebrews exercising this lasting ordinance that you have with the Spirit? When you reap the harvest of your land, do not reap to very edge of your field, or gather the gleaning of your harvest. Leave them for the poor and for the foreigner residing among you. I am the Lord your God. The Festival of Trumpets. 23. The Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, on the first day of the 7th month you are to have a day of Sabbath rest, a sacred assembly commemorated with trumpets blast. Do no regular work, but present a food offering to the Lord. The Day of Atonement. The Lord said to Moses, the 10th of this 7th month is the Day of Atonement. Hold a sacred assembly and deny yourselves, and present a food offering to the Lord. Do not do any work on that day, because it is a day of atonement. When atonement is made for you before the Lord your God, those who do not deny themselves on that day must be cut off from their people. I will destroy from among their people anyone who does any work on that day. Do you suppose that everybody at one point in time or another in this plane of existence has taught us to work? I've worked. There are others that know this content much better than I do. Anaya Obadiah, you can go check her information out. She knows a lot about the Sabbath days. Child of God, I promise you she knows much more about exercising these days than I do, because I've only been in this truth now for about 3.5, 4 years now. So you shall do no work that day, it says. It is the day of the Sabbath, rest for you. You must deny yourselves from evening of the 9th day of the month until the following evening. You are to observe your Sabbath. So a friend of mine, Gravy Train, and she's pointed out that the reason why the Lord is saying in the other parables where these Sabbath days are an abomination to him is because you're offering these sacrifices and then you just roll over and you're right back into your sin. You're not changing your behavior. So that's the problem. The festival of the tabernacles, the Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, on the 15th day of the 7th month, the Lord's festival of tabernacles begins, and it is lasts for 7 days. The first day is a sacred assembly. Do no regular work. For 7 days present food offerings to the Lord, and on the 8th day hold a sacred assembly and present a food offering to the Lord. It is the closing special assembly. Do no regular work. These are the Lord's appointed festivals, which you are to proclaim as sacred assemblies for bringing food offerings to the Lord. The burnt offerings and grain offerings, sacrifices and drink offerings required for each day. These offerings are in addition to those for the Lord's Sabbath, and in addition to your gifts and whatever you have vowed, and all the free will offerings you give to the Lord. So beginning with the 15th day of the 7th month, after you have gathered the crops of the land, celebrate the festivals to the Lord for 7 days. The first day is a day of Sabbath rest, and the 8th day also is a day of Sabbath rest. On the first day, you are to take branches from luxuriant trees, from palms, willows, and other leafy trees, and rejoice before the Lord your God for 7 days. Celebrate this as a festival to the Lord for 7 days each year. This is to be a lasting ordinance for the generations to come. Celebrate it in the 7th month. Live in temporary shelters for 7 days. All native-born Israelites are to live in such shelters, so your descendants will know that I had the Israelites live in temporary shelters when I brought them out of Egypt. I am the Lord, your God. So Moses announced to the Israelites the appointed festivals of the Lord. And that would close out Leviticus 23. I've noticed as well that my views, YouTube's blocking my content again. You know, I was getting on regular views anywhere from 28 to 35 views on all my videos. For the last year I've been getting that. So for the last month I've only been getting like anywhere from 5 views to 17 views. So yeah, YouTube has also blocked my comment section again. They've also blocked me from being able to comment. They blocked me 2 days in a row for going into other people's rooms and answering questions and leaving my videos. So now they're saying when I leave a video for someone to look at that I'm spamming the content. And I mean, I'm not even doing it that often. So YouTube's going to get theirs. Everybody's going to get theirs. If you trumps on somebody's freedom of speech, you think that your policies, I know that you agree to their policies and stuff, but I agree to their policies to the point where they don't impede on my First Amendment right. Anything else, you know, is okay. But the minute YouTube starts pushing their agenda about transgenders, and then I go in a room and I say something outwardly against those that are acting in this abominating behavior, then they shut me down. And it's really becoming quite annoying because they're shoving the shit in my face, all right? And then I make a comment and then they shut me down, right? So that tells you what? That man here, right here in Genesis, hold on, Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, Bible Hub. Look, this is really key for everybody to understand in the creation story. That this man here created on the sixth day, he created him. I ask this question all the time. So God created man in his own image, and in the image of God, he created him. One man. Why doesn't it say it created him and her, male and female? He created them. No, he created him, one man, a male and a female. He created them. Them, they. What are they talking about? This is a beast. This is a devil that's created on the sixth day of creation. It was given power over these that were created in Genesis 1:25. God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds. And then he puts the livestock. So people have mistaken the beast here as also livestock or wild animals in this out in the wilderness. They're not. They're the wild animals in the city. God made the beasts of the earth. God made the United Nations, each according to their kinds. Images of troops marching in ranks. These are your beast nations right here. These are your devils. These are vampires. They're corrupted. This is why when you go into the military, man, these people are thieves, man. I'm telling you straight out, they are crooks. They will cut the lock off your locker and steal your shit, man. They'll steal a bottle of underarm deodorant, man, from you. That's how bad these people are inside of the government. Why? I served in the military, folks. I never ripped off anybody. I did loan money out and do usury. I loaned money out, $50 for $75, for a pay period, 2 weeks. And I did really well. And then everything that I ever earned from usury, God punished me and he stole it from me. God allowed people to steal the money from me because I was doing something that was usury that you're not supposed to do. But these are your beasts of the field, each according to your kind. It doesn't matter what nation you're from. You are a beast nation. You are a vile murderer. You go in without any conscience thought at all. You go into somebody else's country. You kick in their door. You hunt people down. You shoot and kill. You do preeminent strikes. That is not a defense. That is called an offensive. No matter how they sell it to you, preemptive strike or not, it's an offensive, folks. And your countrymen are going into other countries and they are slaughtering people inside of their home. Your Marines, your Army, your Coast Guard, all of these things, man. The ones that you say are keeping your shores safe. Well, why do our shores need to be safe? Because we're a nation of corrupted officials and stuff. This is why they need people to protect them. The people that are in power. The government. These people here. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, Bible Hub. These people, the government that rests on Jesus' shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace. Jesus is going to be called Prince of Peace, but it says the prince of this world shall be cast down. Jesus says that he's coming, that he's not coming to bring peace. How can he be the Prince of Peace? He's the Prince of Peace, and then it says here, do not assume that I've come to bring peace to the earth. Do not think that I've come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to set a man against his father, and daughter against her mother, and daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and one's foes will be members of one's own household. One's family members are going to be your foes themselves. Jesus is coming with a sword. How can Jesus be the Prince of Peace over here when over here he's coming with the sword? I suggest you wake up, folks. All praise and glory to the mighty Most High, our Creator is one God. Blessings be to all those that have turned from their sins and worship the Spirit of truth. Peace. This is White Raptor News Ministries.